Can we talk about the fire that you've been carrying? Not the one that lights you up with purpose and passion, your mission. I'm talking about the one that you've held for everyone else, for their chaos, for their healing, for their projections, for their survival. My friend, I know the feeling. I have done it too. I was the one in my family who held it all together. The emotional glue, the harmonizer, the peacekeeper, the firekeeper for everyone's storms. And over time, that became part of my identity. I didn't realize I had confused being needed with being valued. I didn't realize I had internalized the idea that holding space was my purpose, even if it consumed me in the process. And so lately, I've been grieving a past version of me. I've talked about it on the forecast. I've talked about it here in our Rise and Align series. And these are the deeper layers of me, the versions of me who stayed in relationships, who stayed in rooms, who stayed in communities long after they'd expired for me. The version of me who carried fires for people who never asked if I was okay. And in that grief, I've been remembering something that is deep within me that had taken me a long time to realize. Just because I can hold the fire doesn't mean I should. My friend, welcome to this week's Rise and Align episode. If you are following along with us every single week, welcome back. If you are new here, hello, my friend. Welcome. It is great to meet you. I am Danny C. Muniz, inner work alchemist, Akashic record practitioner, intuitive astrologer with sidereal astrology. And my friend, my favorite thing to do is to help my mission, my purpose is to help high achieving spiritual women who are introverted build the life and the business that they are here to build. And it is more so from the space of doing the deeper inner work, the soul work, the work that we know we need to do because we keep getting stopped in not implementing the strategies, not living life in joy and fun, but getting stuck in the past. And so, here in our Rise and Align series, we love to massage the mind, the body, and the soul. We go beyond the mindset here, my friend, because reframing is great. But if our body is still holding on to something, if our nervous system is still, in its frantic state, then my friend, we're going to still struggle. So, in our Rise and Align episodes, we are going to start with a nice little conversation here. And I say conversation because, yes, I am talking to you, but I also want you to talk to me. So feel free to leave your thoughts and comments down below in the description box. If you're catching this on YouTube, if you're catching this on the podcast, you can also leave comments. I would love to hear, or you can come on over to Instagram and let me know so we can continue the conversation, because I think there is more, right, that needs to be said, more that needs to come out, and you might have questions, and so I'd love to be the person who can answer those for you. So here is what I know. So we're going to do some teaching here, and then we're going to move into our somatic breath work at the end. So if you are just looking for the somatic breath work, you'll find the chapters down below, and you can go to that time and get to the breath work. Or you can stay, listen to this whole thing and do the breath work at the end, or maybe come back to the breath work later. I say that because I know some people just like to listen to the teach first, and then they'll come back and do the breath work when they're ready. And some people like to do it all together. And some people are like, I just want to get to the breath work. So there's tons of breath works here on the channel from the Rise and Align series. And there is also, it's also was called Magic Monday at some point. So you'll probably see some of those on there. And if you're looking for even more, I do have a 22-day challenge, Breathe with Danny. That is a private podcast where you can get 22 different, they're about 20 to 22 minutes each of daily breath works that you can do as well. You'll find the link to all of that down below, plus our Rise and Align experience coming up. That is coming up in September, the fall season. It's going to be 12 weeks, my friend, of us getting together, doing our daily somatic breathwork practice, doing our daily intention practice, and just really setting ourselves up to not just think about the version that we want to be, not just daydream about her, but actually be her, live her, and embody her. And so more of that is coming. You can learn down below in the description more about the Rise and Align series that is starting, the live experience that is starting in the fall. Okay, so here's what I have learned around being a fire keeper, because I wore that as a badge for so long, my friend. And what I've had to realize and what I've come to understand is not all fires are mine to carry, right? I thought that was a part of my identity. It was part of my value. I was valuable because I could hold all these fires. And what I didn't realize was I wasn't holding my own fires. I wasn't allowing myself to take care of my fires, the fires that were brewing because of storms, of frustrations, of things that I hadn't allowed myself or given myself, really, if I'm being completely honest, giving myself the space to actually process, to actually work through, to actually come out on the other side and do the healing around them. I also have fires within me that are my passion and my purpose, and those fires want to come out, right? That fire energy, that wants to come out. And I wasn't allowing those things to come through because I was so busy carrying everybody else's fires. The second thing was, not all spaces deserve my energy. Not all spaces deserve your energy. We think sometimes that we have to go to a place, we have to go to a event, we have to go to a family gathering, because that's what we do. That's what family does. Family gets together. And yes, absolutely, I agree. Family should get together and connect and bond and have great times together. And if it's toxic, if it's a toxic environment, my friend, you don't have to go there. You don't have to be in that environment. If it's a work thing and people want you to go to this thing, trust me, I've been through it. It's a toxic environment, but you are being called, right? Because if not, you're going to get singled out. Trust me, I've been through that. There's a difference between being a sacred fire keeper and being consumed by it. And this was a distinction that I had to learn, because I believe I am very much a sacred fire keeper. I hold space for my clients every single session that we have. I hold space for Sacred CEO members, whether we are on a call or we are in between calls. I'm still holding that space for them, but I am not holding their stuff. I am not allowing myself to hold on all of their emotional baggage, right? Their frustrations, their hurt, their despair, even with friends. Like, I don't hold all of that. I hold space for them, but that is for them to process, right? That is for them to explore. I don't hold it throughout all of my days. Some fires, though, they're meant to burn so that something can rise from them. I want you to think about the phoenix. So some fires are fires like that are going to transform us, right? And we have to go through darker, deeper shadow side of ourselves to uncover, right? Some of those things to be able to step into that new version, right? Inside Rise and Align the Experience, we want to be that version of ourselves, right? That version that we're our highest self, our best self. Like we're shooting to be her. Why aren't we her now? Right. And so sometimes there's the fire that has to burn so that it can, right? Sometimes we have to burn the spaces, the bridges, the things, right? There's fire ceremonies. I've done many fire ceremonies where there's things that have had to burn away, that I've had to burn away, whether it was a belief, an identity, a decision, a relationship, where it's like, this is time, we got to burn it, right? Sometimes we burn things down because we're like, oh, I just got to burn this shit down, right? I got to burn the whole thing down so that I can rebuild it, right? Sometimes we do that in business, right? Where we have started with something and we're like, oh, this isn't working. And so we burn it down and rebuild it. Sometimes with an offer, we might do that. With a marketing strategy, we might do that. With our social media content, we might do that. With our sales conversations, right? That script wasn't working, or that process wasn't working, that funnel wasn't working. I'm going to burn it all down and recreate it. So again, some of the fires are meant to be burned. Some fires are meant to be witnessed. Those are the fires where we either are allowing ourselves to be witnessed. This might be in sacred circle. This might be with a healer or a coach who can hold that space for you to process, not to tell you what to do, but to process, right? To allow yourself, for them to guide you, right, to the realizations that you're needing so that you can shift your energy. Some fires that are meant to be witnessed are you holding space for other people. Maybe you are the witness for your friend who needs that space. Again, not for you to tell them what to do, but to reflect back to them so that they can process. It's one of the things that I find is, sometimes we have friends that want to support us and want to help us, and they jump on the bandwagon with us, right? Oh, we hate him or we hate her, or I can't believe she did that. And what we actually need them to say is to ask questions to us to help us process how we're thinking about something. And sometimes it's hard, right? My love, this past weekend had a session with one of my soul sisters, a healer that I love and adore and trust. And he did a session with her because I'm too close to it. Like I'm too close. We're too connected that it's very hard for me to hold space for him to process things because we're just too interconnected. Our energies are just too interconnected. And so I would rather him go to someone that he can fully express everything, who doesn't have any, outside, you know, knowledge. She's right there with him, helping him process whatever it is that he needs to process through, and just there for him, right? Not worried about what other people are going to think or what other people are going to do. She is simply there for him. She has no bias around what is going to be best for him. She's just there to help, right? Whatever he's dealing with. And so this is why we go to other healers, right? This is, if you're a healer or a coach, this is why you go to another coach, you go to another healer, because you need somebody to help you process through this, right? So some of those fires, they're meant to be witnessed, and they're meant to be witnessed by other people who can hold that space for you, or maybe you are the one that is holding that space for somebody else. Some of these fires are meant to be offered up. So when I say that is sometimes the fires that we are keeping, they're meant to, we're meant to let them go. We're meant to offer them up as a as an offering of some sort, right? Where we're letting them go. We're not holding on to them. Where we might tend to them, but we're not going to, we're not going to let them burn all the way down, right? We're going to allow them to grow and to I think of like what's coming to mind is, again, because I'm watching the 40 some odd 48 seasons, I think it is, or something like that, of Survivor. And when they're always trying to start fire for the first time, they're over there trying to like get the spark. And then once they get the spark on the little coconut um husks, they start blowing on it, right? And blowing on it, and then they transfer it into a pile of sticks, right? Of tree barks and stuff, so that it can grow even bigger. And when I think of offering it up, it's like you're more tending to the fire. You're allowing the fire to grow and to grow and to grow. And sometimes it's there's tending that needs to happen, but it's also as if you're letting it do its thing, right? We might place a stick, like if you've ever watched Survivor, you might know this, where when they get to the final four and there's a split vote, they have to build fire, right? The two people have to build fire, and you have to put things in place so that when you do get that spark, you can transfer it and it can start growing. And all you're doing is just placing a few sticks here and there to let it keep going and going and going, right? It's the same idea. When you're offering it up, you're still you're tending to it, but there's not as much as when you're being witnessed, right? Not as much as when you're just letting it burn out, right? Because you're letting it burn out, you're not doing anything, right? You're letting it go, you're letting it be. But sometimes we have to tend just a bit to it so that it can fully erupt into what it needs to erupt to offer it up, right? This is the healing, this is the transformation energy. My friend, you're not meant to be the keeper of everyone's heat, though. That is the thing I want you to remember. You're not here to take on everybody else's. You're here to tend to the ones that are inside of you. Because, my friend, as we talked about last week in creating space. So if you missed last video, go back and look. But we talked about that space. We all need space, and we don't give ourselves enough space to process the things. You don't need a new strategy. You don't need to go do another healing session. You don't need to go learn another modality. What you need is space, my friend. And when you're not holding on to everybody else's fires, your moms, your sisters, your best friends, your spouses, your children, when you're not holding all of their spaces, all of their fires, and you're creating space for you. Now, there was something that this girl did, and it came up in a client session this week as well. One of the girls on Survivor, she was struggling. I'm currently watching the season Millennials versus Gen Xers, and she was one of the Millennials, and she was, has a lot of anxiety, and so she was talking about how it was just so overwhelming. There was just so much going on because there was blind sides and all these things happening, and there was so much. And she was like, I can't even get 5 minutes to breathe. And as soon as she said that, I was like, that's not true. Like immediately, okay, I'm not on the game Survivor. I'm not in her actual situation, but I know that that's not true, even though in her head, she believes that everything, like the game is constantly on. I have seen a number of survivors and even the winners of survivors take 5 minutes, take time to walk down to the beach and get in the water, right? I saw one girl floating in the water one time, and I was like, oh, that's beautiful. I've seen them do yoga, I've seen them do meditations. Like, you always have 5 minutes, my friend, for you. You always have 5 minutes for you, even in the most extreme times that I know I have been in myself, where things have felt so chaotic and everything is all over the place. Things are in chaos. There is always 5 minutes that I can take. I can take 5 minutes. I can sit on my chair back there. I can sit on the couch down in the living room, which is my favorite place to sit. I can sit on my balcony and watch the sunrise. I can take 5 minutes. I always have 5 minutes. I have 5 minutes before I go to bed. I have 5 minutes during lunch. I can have 5 minutes, my friend. And I would invite you, because if you want your creativity, your passion, if you want all of that, you've got to take the time. And by getting rid of holding on to other people's stuff, my friend. So, how do you do this? So, what are some ways in which you can know which fire is yours to hold? Because that's a question I get sometimes too. Like, well, Danny, how do I know which fire to hold? How do I know if it's mine or somebody else's? Because if you were anything like me, who used to hold on to everybody's fires and kept it as that your identity and the value that you thought you had in the world, or you might think now, the number one thing is to start with those 5 minutes that I just talked about. And those 5 minutes are being present to what is here for you. The more and more I learned about energy and I learned about clearing my energy and working with my energy, I realized that all the stuff that I had in my own energy. So selenite, this is a selenite. Um, it's a knife, but it's here on my desk. I use it quite often. This I use just right now. I can use it to just simply clear my energy, right? I'm moving it through my aura. I'm clearing my energy, ridding it of anything that is not meant for me, for my greatest and highest good, right? I can use this to clear my energy. When I started to do this, I started to realize what gunk I had in my energy, because it was not so much of the chaos that I was feeling, as I would start to feel like, oh, this is, how come it's calmer? How come it's not as intense as it was before? And I realized this was me. There might be a couple of things that are here, but it wasn't so big as it felt before. That is why I say start with presence. Start with recognizing what is yours and what is not. And the best way to do that is to manage your own energy. So clearing your energy, doing some breath work, doing anything that is going to, like journaling, right? Anything that's going to like move things out of your system. My friend, this is the number one place to start, is to start with being present with yourself and recognizing your energy versus others' energy. So you can also do this by noticing when you walk into a room. So notice how you feel, right? First, maybe in your car, right? Or as you're walking up, notice how you feel. Notice what your energy feels like. And then notice what happens when you start interacting with other people. Notice what shifts. Does your heart rate start to increase? Do you start to feel a little sweaty? Do you get a little tingly, right? What starts to happen in your body? Do your thoughts get super chaotic, where maybe they were calm before, but now they're chaotic? Or maybe they were chaotic before, now they're calm, right? That's often what happens when my clients come to work with me. Like they have so much going on in their head and they're like, oh, I can breathe. Like they feel like a lot calmer because we've cleared out their energy, right? The next thing is to let yourself grieve the roles and the identities that are ready to go, that are ready to be released. The version of you who maybe always needed to be needed, or who always felt like you had to give or prove, right, your worth by holding all the things together. So let yourself grieve those roles. Let yourself process through. I told you I'm grieving an identity of Danny. And as I'm grieving that identity of Danny, who has stayed too long in spaces and places, and that she should not have stayed long past their expiration date, I'm learning other things that are connected to that, that I'm processing through, and I'm realizing that I'm like, oh, this was also attached to this, and this was also attached to this. So sometimes, shifting this can be pretty quick, and sometimes it can take a lot longer because it's a bigger part, right? It's a bigger aspect. The other thing I would say is name your fire. Name the fire, name what it is. What is this, a fire that I am holding for somebody? Is this a fire that I'm holding for myself, that I'm ready to, right, offer up, or that I'm ready for somebody to hold space for me to process through this? Is this a fire that I'm ready to let die, to let go, right? Name it, name where it's at and what it is. And also, what are you protecting? And because sometimes our fires, we're protecting those things so much because it feels so real. It's the old frequency, the old identity that wants to stay, where the new one is like, let's go, but the old one is still there. And then the last thing I would say is what's no longer meant for the flame, like let that go. Let it burn, let it clear, let it move. Like you don't have to hold on to it. If it's ready to go, it's ready to go. And you don't have to hold on to it. And people ask me all the time, like, how do I do that, Danny? How do I let go? Or how do I change? Or how do I do this? And the very first thing I tell them is decide. Decide that this is what you want to do. Decide that this is who you want to be. Decide that this is the version you are now. Not that you're becoming, not that you want to be, but decide to be her now. A client session this week that came up, and one of the things we talked about is you're so used to the version of you that you are right now. This is comfortable. You understand it, even though as much as you want to shift and want to change, you are so comfortable in this version of you. But the new version of you, the new identity, you are not familiar with. You don't have a relationship with. You don't know what she's like. So start to build that relationship with her. Start asking her, what would future me do? And start connecting and coming from that place instead of thinking and wishing and dreaming. Actually be. All right, my friend, if you are ready to dive into our breath work for this session, then go ahead and get into a comfortable position. We're going to get started in just a moment. So find a place where you can relax for just a quick moment. We're going to take about 20 minutes or so to do this breath work. We will do a quick grounding in the beginning, opening up and calling in our guides and guardians for this time. And then we will move into our breath work, where I will invite you to release any of the fires that you might be carrying that are not yours, and also tend to the fires that are yours. All right, my friend, let's go ahead and begin. And just taking a nice deep breath in and letting it go. Once again, letting it go. And on this next inhale, allowing your roots, your grounding cord to drop down into Mother Earth, grounding you into this time, to this place, to right here, to right now. Plugging your cord in to the core, to the center, and just feeling that heartbeat, that rhythm of Mother Earth. We've got the beautiful crystalline energy that is wanting to come through of carnelian. So we're going to breathe in carnelian. And we've also got sunstone. So we're going to breathe in the energy of sunstone. You may feel these, you may sense these, you just may imagine, and however they feel to you. You don't have to know what these energies encompass or what their properties are. How do they feel to you? Just tune in and just notice how they feel for you right here, right now. We're going to move that energy all the way up and focus our intention on our crown chakra. And as you begin to open up your crown chakra, connecting in with God our Father, the great I am, the divine source creation universe. And just to begin feeling that flow of energy, that connection, that unconditional love. That love that is here for you each and every day. It is guiding, protecting, watching over. And we call upon God our Father, the great I am, the divine source creation universe. And we ask for your guidance, for your love, for your support and protection. We ask for your insights. We ask for your beautiful, loving energy to surround us, to support us, to be with us. We call upon Mother Earth, Gaia. We ask for your guidance, your loving, grounded, nurturing, caring energy. We are so blessed and honored to have you in our life, to work with you. We call upon our guides, guardians, our angels, our spirit team, and we ask for your guidance, your direction, helping us find the signs, the synchronicities, the symbols that we are seeking to help us, guide us on our path for our greatest and highest good. Show us our path. Let us know that we are on the right path, and guide us gently when we have stepped off of it. We call upon our 4 directions, north, east, south, west, and 4 elements, air, earth, fire, water. And we ask for your divine guidance to be within our thoughts, our words, our emotions, and our actions. We call upon the 4 guardians of the watchtowers and the 4 archangels, Raphael, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Gabriel, Michael, and Oriel. There we go. It's like, where is Oriel? And we ask for your guidance, your protection to watch over us and guide us. We're so blessed and honored by this opportunity to connect, to work with, to be guided as we co-create this day, this time, this opportunity that we have right here, right now. And we bow in gratitude. And we ask for this, for greater, and so it is. Take a nice deep breath in, my friend. Letting it go. Once again. Letting it go. And finding yourself, allowing your consciousness to drop down into your heart space, the space at the center of your chest, tip of your sternum. And inside you will find your sacred fire. This is the pure sacred fire that you hold. This is your passion. This is your purpose, your mission. And I want you to just notice the flame. Is it just a spark trying to ignite? Is it full-blown, raging fire? Is it out of control? Or is it somewhere in between? Just notice, no judgment, just awareness. I'm going to invite you to step into that fire. This fire is going to take you down to a place where you're going to be able to see, to understand, to notice, to recognize the fires that you are holding. You may see a bunch of fires. You may see a few fires. You may see no fires. The fires that are orange, reddish in color are your fires. The fires that are greenish, bluish, purplish in color are the fires of other people. The fires that you are not meant to hold any longer. And so I invite you with our breath work today, in a moment as we shift our breathing in through the mouth, out through the mouth, deep into the belly, to let those fires go, to stop tending to them, to blow them out, and to let them go. Taking a nice deep breath in and letting it go. And let's begin. Deep breaths in through the mouth, out through the mouth, deep into the belly, 360 degrees, finding your own rhythm. Release the fires that are not your, my friend. Let them go. Let them out. Free yourself from what is no longer yours so that you can create space for your own fires. We're about halfway there. Keep going. You're doing so good, my friend. Find that rhythm. Release. Letting go of any stress, any fires, any burdens, anything that is stopping you from nurturing, supporting, loving your fires. In this last 90 seconds, feel into how your body wants to release this. Does it want to move in any way? Does it want to shake? Is there a sound you want to make? Trust yourself and let it go. Last 30 seconds, my friend. Keep going. Keep releasing. Keep letting go. Keep creating space. Beautiful. All right, let's take a nice deep breath in, letting it go. Once again, letting it go. One more time. Holding it at the top. Connecting in with your sacred fire, your mission, your purpose, your passion. What does it want you to know? And when you're ready to release that breath, let it go. And staying connected to your sacred fire, shifting your breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Slowing it down. Feeling it more. You've made some space, my friend. You've cleared out the fires that are no longer yours to hold. And I want you to notice the fires that you are here to tend to. The ones that are connected to your sacred fire. And the ones that are pulling you away from it. You may notice they flicker. You may notice their color shifts. As you begin to now identify and connect even deeper with the sacred fire and the fires you are currently keeping. Are there some that are out of control? Are there some that need to be tended to? Are there some that need to just burn out? And are there some that need to be held, to be witnessed? Notice what you notice. With love, with curiosity. And you might say to yourself, within your mind's eye, or softly, I protect what's sacred. It is safe for me to burn what no longer is mine. I am free from what no longer serves me. I choose to tend to my sacred fire. Now, as we prepare for our last breath hold today, taking a nice deep breath in and letting it go. Once again, and letting it go. And on this next one, biggest breath you've taken so far today, and letting it all go, letting it all out, and holding it out, feeling into the stillness right here, right now. When you're ready to take that next breath in, breathe in gratitude. Gratitude for this time that you have taken for yourself. Gratitude for your sacred fire. Gratitude for the returning back to you. Gratitude for the old identities that got you here. And gratitude for what is opening up for you now. If it feels good to place a hand on your heart, and just connecting in to anything else that you are grateful for, any person, any opportunity, anything that you want to express gratitude for, express it now. And as we begin to bring this session to a close, I invite you to begin to take in anything that you discovered, any ahas, any insights that came through during this session, to gather them now so that you can take them with you into your day, into this week, into this next season. Letting yourself feel what is here for you right now, the space, the stillness, the peace. Coming back more and more alert now, wiggling your fingers and toes, coming more and more alert. When you're ready to open your eyes, fully coming back, my friend, welcome back. This has been your opportunity to release, to let go, to rise from the ashes of every whirl, every identity that you no longer choose. My friend, if this episode resonated, I invite you to go deeper. We've got two really great opportunities for you to go even deeper. The first one being our monthly lunar journal that has so many opportunities for you to dive into the cycle of this current season. Our August one is out as this is live, but there is always a lunar journal that comes out every single month. And once you get one, you get all of them, and they are free, my friend. So go and get those. There's journal prompts in there. There's ritual embodiment ideas in there. There is talks about the lunar cycle. We've got weekly prompts in there for you. It is so beautiful. It's one of my favorite things to create every single month. We also have the Rise and Align the Experience. So if you've loved these videos, if you're like, this is something I want, I wish I had more of, if you want to embody the version of you and stop thinking and dreaming about her, but actually be her now, then I'm going to recommend that you come join us in the new Rise and Align the Experience. This is going to be my fourth time offering it, and yet it is a completely different experience. If you've taken the past version, Cosmic Alignment, I can tell you it is completely different than what it's ever been, yet the staples are still there. You can find more about that at thepeaceteacher.com/be her now. You'll be able to see all about it and save your seat. We kick off on the fall equinox, and we're going to go through the fall season. So if you're looking for some support over this next end of the year, this next season, if you truly want to start being her now as we end 2025, as we end this year and begin a new year, then my friend, this is the experience for you. This is a small container. There's not a whole lot of people that will be in this, and I love it that way because I can hold that sacred space for all of you. My friend, this episode has come to an end, but yet it is just the beginning. My friend, you are here to ignite, you are here to lead, you are here to embody, and we are coming back to that now. Until next time, my friend, remember to keep shining your unique light.